Welcome to 4Devs. My name is Justin.
My name is Kelly.
I'm Christian.
And I'm Troy.
Awesome. So today we're just going to be going through and talking about whatever really comes to mind. You know,
Yeah,
we like to do it unscripted.
it's been a while.
No filter. Well, some filter. We're going to filter. Okay.
A little filter.
So what's going on in the news?
Well, I mean, in Grave City news, we released the ComponentOne Xamarin Edition beta this week.
We did.
So, very excited about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, Golf clap. We're going golf clap.
But we're looking forward to having a cleaner architecture and, something that's faster. And, some nice fringe benefits like UWP support finally, better design support, storyboards and stuff like that. So the future is bright, and I don't own any sunglasses, so it's gonna be rough.
Should get some of those Snapchat sunglasses. They are.
I know a few people who have them.
Really?
Sadly, yeah.
Sadly, oh man. I guess it's, well, to each his own.
I feel like if you use Snapchat a lot, it's probably
Yeah, I mean, it might be helpful. Like my sister-in-law, she's 18, so she uses it constantly. That's all she does.
Habitually,
She's
yeah.
like, texting, what's texting? I just use Snapchat. So maybe for her birthday, I'll get her some spectacle. What do they call it? Are they called
Spectacles, yeah.
I'm sure, of course.
I know
they
it is a
are.
spectacle.
It is, that's true. It's very ironic, actually.
It is a spectacle.
Yeah, I don't know, actually, I wouldn't buy them, but like, maybe if I did interesting things with my life, I would.
Yeah.
And I mean, if people actually wanted to see, like imagine if you just, came here every day and, wore them, alright, I'm getting on the bus now. I'm on my way to Great City, and...
By the way, tomorrow will be no different.
snap a conversation with a customer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know what?
That might be
I think we just
interesting.
figured out the
That might
future.
be actually, that.
I'm getting them for all of you guys. And I'd like for everybody to wear them, and then we'll post them in 4Devs, and we'll have a collage, a week with 4Devs.
Wow.
That's a very snappy week.
Ah! Was there a pun intended there?
No.
It's very snappy. Get it? Oh.
Kelly not making a fun.
Very good. Yeah. So, what else is going on? Let's see.
Angular 4 released
That's
a couple weeks ago,
Did it?
and the original support team is, or will be supporting Angular 4 pretty soon. So
Nice.
That's good.
yeah,
Angular 4, what's different? Is it like completely, is it like between the comparison from Angular 1 to Angular 2?
no. So the subsequent releases after Angular 2 are still at the core, like Angular 2.
Yeah, they need those.
Angular 2 concepts. So a lot of things that they made as far as changes were to slim down the size of the Angular core module, so you can kind of narrow down the responsibilities that the Angular core should have. So you can take out, I think one of the things they took out was animations or something like that.
Okay.
Because not every application needs animations, but that was just one example that I read through on their release post.
Yeah.
But the main benefit is there's something out in the code, so you're not importing as much into your project.
Huh. Well,
Slim it down, make it fast.
right, the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that it's not a complete rewrite.
Oh, yeah,
Angular
absolutely.
2 was from Angular 1. Yeah, I'll bet. Even the entire Ridgmo team are probably excited about that. Well, that's good. Sounds like a lot of optimization then.
Right.
So we're going to be supporting it then. Grave
Absolutely.
City
Yep.
with Ridgmo.
Mhm.
Nice. That's good stuff.
It is. Christian's ebooks,
Oh.
The ebook is, it's in the oven.
There's one question. Does it mention Angular 4?
Yeah, it mentions it.
But
yeah.
what's, I mean, I know broadly what the topic is, but I mean, where are all your different, points throughout your paper?
Yeah, it's so it kind of starts out with a brief overview of what the point of MVC is. and how JavaScript frameworks really aren't that. But they address the same basic concept and the same kind of concern that, say, something like ASP.NET MVC addresses. So that's how it starts out, and then it just talks about, I guess, 5 major frameworks that Widgmo supports, has built-in interops for, and basically how those frameworks look when you actually use them. So kind of gives like a brief demo for each one. But the really important part of the paper is it doesn't go in depth with how the frameworks work, but it gives kind of a top level overview of the advantages and disadvantages. So why you might want to use React over Angular 2 or Angular 4 or something like that. And it talks about React JS, Vue.js, Angular JS or Angular 1, Angular 2/4, and Knockout.js.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
It's a pretty good read. I've only gotten halfway through. But
It's a significant ebook, that's for sure. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I was telling, at lunch today, I was telling them that I've never done this before, but when I wrote it using like markdown files in Atom, and so I had no page count at any point. And I think that's why it ended up being so long, because like, I don't know, it just kind of snowballed into that. Like, it wasn't supposed to be that at first.
Well,
But
and, yeah, if you're interested in something too, and you want to be comprehensive, it just, sometimes even without being as comprehensive as you thought you wanted to be,
Right.
it's quite large, so.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Sweet.
That's
Well,
what's
congrats
going
on the
me.
ebook.
Oh,
Congrats on the
thanks,
ebook.
thank you.
Awesome. I was just surprised that you had some Angular 4 mentions in there, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, well,
I haven't heard. I mean, this is the first I'm hearing about. I'm sure it's been there for a while.
well, they're calling it, I forget the way they worded it, but something like I don't know, like a silent rewrite, or like you don't actually have to update very much in your app. It's just you kind of update what you're importing and what you're loading as far as their binaries go, and everything's supposed to just work, I think, pretty much.
I guess this will speak to my ignorance as far as what's going on in web development, since I'm pretty firmly in .NET most of the time, but was there an Angular 3 in there? Okay.
There wasn't one, right?
I thought there was, but
It must have been very minor, because
They buried it.
On the official like Angular blog that Google runs, there's an explanation, because they changed the naming too. So now anything that's Angular like V1 before is Angular JS.
Okay.
Anything that's 2 and later is Angular. And then if you have to specify the version, you can, like Angular 2 or Angular 4.
I see.
But they talk about why it's 4, because I don't know, I thought they skipped 3, but I'm not
Yeah.
positive.
I'm not sure.
Or it was
I
like
haven't-
internal.
haven't
I
used
guess
it.
it'll be kind of like the same mystery as to why there was no Windows 9.
Right, I think it's something like that.
Nice.
But
Just
I don't know.
10 is a more bold number.
Yeah, let's just get to double digits.
Yeah,
already.
right. Come on, we deserve it, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna get. To be honest with you, not to derail the topic or anything, but I think that a lot of companies are struggling with naming right now because look at Firefox. They're on pretty soon. They're gonna be on version like 90 or something like that. So are they just gonna keep iterating until it's like version 237? Are they gonna call it like just Firefox and then just have the version as like an aside?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you talk about the browsers, because they've been, I couldn't even tell you like Chrome or Safari, like what version they're on anymore. I mean, that's been so,
Just
yeah,
kidding.
there you
I'm just kidding.
Well, Kelly.
No, I don't know about, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Chrome's the only one I know. But.
And then you have something like the iPhone, where you're really going to run out of numbers. Well, okay, so numbers that make sense. You know what I mean? So are you going to have the iPhone 20? I wouldn't. I'd be like, you've gone a little far now with the numbers. So I think that they should go the same route as Google's done with Angular, and just call it iPhone. and have a footnote for which one it is, you know what I mean? iPhone X, it's gonna be Roman numerals pretty soon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always get the numbers mixed up, but they have pretty good semantics for like numbering, the versions that you're downloading, like.
Angular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They typically separate the different, they have the version first as a number, and have separated by a period, and then have a release, like a big release of that version, separated by a period, and then the last one is kind of like the last digits, or kind of correspond to like hotfixes that they have.
Like build numbers, yeah. That's kind of like our,
Yeah,
so
similar to what
it's
we do.
pretty much the same thing that we do.
Right.
It's like for .NET, it'd be the framework, release, year and trimester.
Yeah.
Well,
Trimester.
yeah, I mean, the numbers, they matter for developers. Actually, it's kind of interesting, I guess we're just getting at the point that like from a consumer and branding perspective, those numbers are totally meaningless to them. And,
Right.
you know,
Right.
just as tech becoming more of a commodity, you know, why are we carrying these kicking and screaming into the future? But
So I think it's just to differentiate what I'm selling to you, you know what I mean? I'm not selling you the old iPhone, I'm selling you the next iPhone.
Right,
You know what I mean? Just like Pixel, they already have the Pixel 2 coming soon.
Supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly. Again, it's just, I'm curious to see how these brands approach like the naming of their products, especially somebody like Microsoft or like Apple. What's the meaning behind some of these numbers? Are they just versions or?
Yeah.
Sure, I mean,
Which one's
yeah.
3 and which one's 5?
Oh, yeah, we're guilty. Okay, so
Well,
we're guilty.
yeah,
I was gonna
that's-
say, I was gonna say for us, it's even a challenge, because it, you know, for developer components, it does matter to the developers, but as far as like that branding perspective, you know, it probably matters less and less every year, because they don't outwardly need to know like what version you're on. I mean, it's
Right.
enough to know that that control, that platform, whatever, continues to exist and gets updated.